Distracting yourself from anxiety won't help with anxiety in the long run. In the long run, I used to be an adamant distractor because, for example, I used to I love my own company. Pre-anxiety, I used to love my own company, but when struggling with anxiety, I couldn't sit still. I couldn't sit on my own. I just felt, this monster is gonna swallow me. I just felt like, the feeling of impending doom, the feeling like something bad's gonna happen. So I never used to sit down on myself. And even if I sat down by myself, I could sit even for like just 2 minutes. Then I start distracting myself. Maybe it's by, I love taking Red Bull. I take a can of Red Bull. Some of you go out to smoke. Sometimes I just say to myself, I'm not supposed to look at that way because it will trigger my anxiety. So I don't look that way. I say to myself, okay, there are some certain thoughts that I'm not supposed to think. No, I try to replace my negative thoughts with positive thoughts. You can be grabbing your phone. The kind of distractions that you always use. And let me tell you guys, there's a difference between distracting yourself and engaging in life. Distracting yourself, ask yourself, what's the intention? Why am I doing this thing? Am I doing this thing to try and find relief from anxiety, to try and alleviate myself from anxiety, to try and stop anxiety? What's the intention behind this? Because with distracting, you do something to try and not feel anxiety, to try and not think of anxiety. Maybe you are just sitting watching a movie and you feel like the anxiety is too intense. When I struggled so much with watching a movie, because I was like, and I love movies, I'm watching my favorite movie, but I can't focus, I can't concentrate. I had a problem with watching TV. I can't focus. I feel like I'm two in one. I'm trying to focus on the movie, and also I'm inwardly thinking of anxiety. I'm thinking about anxiety. I'm thinking about how awful I feel. How to get rid of the sensation. Like literally, I was just doing inward thinking. So I used to struggle so much with watching TV. So there's a difference. Engaging is participating in real things with real life. You get doing the house chores, taking your kids to school. Going on that highway, driving on that highway. Driving that plane, doing the real things. And as you engage with life, you'll find that you will disengage with anxiety. So there's a difference between distract and engage. Don't confuse the two. Distracting is doing something to try and alleviate, to try and forget about anxiety. But engaging is you literally just living your life. You're there just living your life normally the way you used to live pre-anxiety, and like you live like someone who has already recovered. That is engaging with life. You are living without making anxiety a big deal, without making it be a determinant of what you're gonna do. That's engaging. So don't confuse the two. There's a difference between distracting and engaging. And if you want to know the difference, ask yourself, before you do something, ask yourself, what's the intention behind it? Am I doing it to distract myself, and am I actually engaging with life?